This part? No? Hello? Can I turn this mic on, please? One of them? Is it on? Hello? Perfect, thank you. Hi, everyone. How's it going? How's it going? Thank you. I'm a bit tired today, so can we get one more just to wake me up? How's it going? That's so much better, thank you. So my name is Loizza. I'm going to start off by a few guessing games. Can someone tell me how old I am? Be careful. Yes. Yep, and yeah. 13? Is it because of my height? Yes. No. Yes. 28? No. I'll take one more. Please get it right. Yes. Okay, one more. We can't end like that. Yes. 19, yes. Thank you. Okay, cool. So one more game just so you can get to know me a bit. You guys know the game Two Truths and a Lie? Yes. Okay, so I need to ask a first question. Who's seen Endgame? Who hasn't seen Endgame but still wants to see it? You guys haven't seen it yet? Okay, cool. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'll try not to. So two truths and one lie. One, I play Fortnite and I've never won. Two, I cried sometime during Endgame. And three, I was born in Winnipeg. Yep. Did I say number one? Oh, that's not it. No. Yep. Yes, I was not born in Winnipeg. I was actually born in Manila, which means I cried during Endgame. All right, so my name is Loizza. I'm 19 years old. I play Fortnite. I'm not good at it. I cried during Endgame, and I was born in Manila. That's all there is to know about me. My keynote's over. So I am actually a U of T student. I just finished my second year. And I'm here to talk to you today about where I come from, a bit about my background, and how I really used where I was from to spark my social activism. So that was me when I was 9, which means no, I'm not 13, because that was in 2009. This is where it all started. This was my 5th grade class at a brand new middle school I started at. And this was the first day of my social activism journey. It was the very first time I had my own fundraiser. So can I get a hand up if you're 9 years old? Yes. What a good time in life. Okay, so that was me when I was 9. And this is how it started. I had breakfast with my mom at about 8 a.m. and we were watching the news, and there was this typhoon that hit Manila, which is where I was born. It was called Typhoon Ondoy, and there's a lot of people that were affected by the typhoon, and people were having to walk to school in flooded conditions. There were people who couldn't even get to school. There were people who their houses were destroyed. And my mom looked at me and she said, look it, you complain about walking down the street for 10 minutes in plus 20 weather, and these people walk 2 hours to get to school and they don't complain once. And I was like, okay, Mom, what are you doing about it? And she told me about how at her office they were having a fundraiser to donate money and donate clothing and toiletries and non-perishable food items to the Philippines. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll do the same thing. And you know when you say stuff and your mom doesn't believe you? It was one of those. She didn't believe me. She was like, oh yeah, okay, you do that. And I was like, okay. So I went to school, I went straight to my principal's office and I said, hey, I really care about this. This is where I'm from, and it's not fair. And my mom told me, and my dad told me, this is something that you could have been living. This could be a reality. But we're here. We're in Canada. And you can do something about this. You could help people. And so I was like, okay, one kid, a lot of people, what can I do? So I did it anyways with my brother and my sister, and we had a fundraiser. So we did a bake sale, a root beer float sale, and we collected non-perishable food items, clothing, and toiletries. In about a week and a half, we got over $600, and we got dozens of boxes which we sent over to the Philippines to help the victims of Typhoon Ondoy. And then I realized I really, really like what I'm doing. And I like the fact that as a young person, as a girl, as a Filipino, as an immigrant, a person of color, I didn't see a lot of people doing what I did, and I didn't see a lot of people that I could look up to. So I thought, maybe I should stick with this. And so that's me and my brother and my sister and our friends that helped us out. And so the next picture is 2 years later when I went to We Day. Does anyone know what We Day is? Ever been there? Awesome. So if you don't know what We Day is when a lot of young people come together and they listen to speakers and they talk about things that they're passionate about, like the environment or mental health or poverty or education. And so I was really inspired at my first We Day in 2012. I was in 7th grade, and so I was 12 years old. And I heard a speaker named Michelle Chikwanin, and he talked about how he was a child soldier and he felt like he didn't have a voice. And so I decided, hey, I want to join him with this message. And he had this thing called the vow of silence, where he encouraged people across the country, across the nation, to not talk for a whole day, just so you could understand what it's like to not have your voice heard. And even if you did talk, your teachers and your friends would know you were part of the vow of silence and they wouldn't hear you. And so I decided to take pledges for people to start the vow of silence with me. And with just people donating $10 or getting pledges of $20 or $30, we ended up raising $2,000 in 3 days, and Free the Children at the time, which is now Midowi, matched it for $4,000, which went to go build an all-girls school in Kenya in a remote place. So that was me when I was 12. And those are my two friends, Luke and Brett, that I did it with. And then fast forward a few years, this time I'm 15, and I started speaking across the province about exactly what I'm talking about today. Talking about what I did to change the world or do different things within my community to kind of volunteer, show other young people that this is what I care about and it's possible to make a change. And so I started talking about how there's not a lot of people in this world who are as blessed as we are, where there's people who don't get to go to school every day. There's girls who don't get to go to school. There's people who don't have an option to go to school. And so I started talking about that and really opening up my friends' eyes and saying, wow, we're in this really good place and we can do something to help other people. And then a few years later, I decided that, hey, I really love advocating for human rights, but mental health became something super important to me. Does anyone know what mental health is? I love that so much. Can someone tell me what it is? Yep, in the middle. That is perfect. It is keeping your brain healthy. So just like we have physical health, we have mental health, right? So just because you don't have a cold doesn't mean you don't have physical health, just like maybe you don't have a mental illness, but we all have mental health. And so this is something that became super important to me, so I began to advocate for it. When I was 15 years old, so what's the oldest grade in here? Is it grade 6? Hand up if you're grade 6. Anyone in grade 7? No? Okay, all grade 6. So you're in grade 7? Awesome, sorry. So about a few years after grade 7, when I was in 10th grade, I started my own nonprofit called Peace of Mind. And does anyone know what a nonprofit is? Yep. You guys are so smart. That's perfect. That's exactly what you said. So you basically raise money or raise awareness for a cause, and none of it really goes to you. So that's what I did, and I did it with my friends, and it was people across the province that said, hey, let me sign up and talk about mental health with you, because a lot of people don't talk about it, so that's what we did. And it was something that I learned could make a really big difference just by talking about it, talking about mental health, or talking about different things that we didn't really get to talk about, but this was something that I was passionate about. So then this was me today. That's one of my friends, Daniel, who is also an immigrant from Pakistan. He's one of my best friends. And we started a new nonprofit just a few months ago called Leaders of Today. So by the time I was 19, I'm still 19, I had 2 nonprofits, and the second one is called Leaders of Today. So Leaders of Today aims at bringing young people just like us together across the country to start conversation and to start campaigns and fundraisers for causes that we're passionate about. So basically, we want to encourage young people to make a change with whatever they're passionate about. So who here likes basketball? Who here likes Fortnite? Really? Okay. Who here likes movies? Who here likes dancing? Who here likes something else they want to tell me about? Yeah. Crafting? Awesome. So art? Someone else? Yep. Singing? Awesome. Yes. Beside you? Yes. Gymnastics? Awesome. Yes. Awesome. I can't skate. One more. Yeah, right there. Skateboarding. Awesome. So these are all different things that we're passionate about, right? And a lot of people don't understand or don't really realize that you could use all of our passions to do something to create change in the world. So skateboarding, for example. You could have an event at a skate park and, let's say, charge people for a day and be like, hey, this is what the proceeds are going to. Or whether it's singing, you could have a coffee house like I did. If it's video games, my sister actually had a 24-hour stream that she did with her friends where all that money went towards the Children's Miracle Network in Winnipeg. So there's all these different things that you could do that you really don't realize that you could use it to make a change, and that's what Leaders of Today does. It's really inspiring young people to use their passion and use what they care about to create change in the world. So as a Filipino, as an immigrant, as a young woman, okay, sorry. So as a young person, as a woman, as an immigrant, it was really important to me to really represent the identities that make up who I am. So last year, I actually had the privilege of receiving the RBC Top 25 Canadian Immigrant Award as one of the youngest to ever receive it, as well as the second person to ever receive the RBC Youth Award, and being the youngest person to ever receive it. So I was sitting in chairs just like you guys, but I was in Winnipeg. And I always thought this was out of reach. I always thought, hey, I don't think I could do that. Or, hey, I don't know how to change the world. How can I change the world? And a wise person once said, you don't have to change the whole world. If you change one person's world, you can make all the difference. Can someone tell me which wise person said that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Does someone know who said it? Which wise person said it? Yeah. No, it was actually me. I'm that wise person. It was me. But my mom's gonna be happy you said that, so I'll tell her. My mom is wise, my dad is wise, but I said that, so. Yeah, so that's something that I always learned, something I learned through doing this. I got to meet a lot of really cool people on the way. Does anyone know who the guy in the top right is, if you're a Raptors fan? Yes, y'all, tell me. Who? Masai Ujiri, that's my guy. I love him so much. I got the opportunity to meet him back in November. If you don't know who he is, he's the Raptors general manager and president, so he was responsible for DeRozan leaving, if you care about DeRozan. If you watch the Raptors, yeah, we're winning this series. Yes. Yes, okay, one time for the Raptors, yes. So yeah, as a basketball fan, as an advocate, as a woman who plays sports, it was really cool to meet Masai Ujiri and see all the cool things that he's doing. And something that he shared at the YMCA Peace Medal Awards was, when women win, we all win. And it reminds me that when people of color win too, we all win. And that's something that we tend to forget sometimes, is that we're all on the same team working towards the same goal. And at RBC, I think the biggest lesson I learned during that whole awards process was, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter if you were born here, you immigrated here, you're a refugee. You don't have to leave who you are at the door. You can bring it with you, because that's the kind of country Canada is. People welcome who you were, people welcome your roots, and people welcome your background. And that's the most beautiful part, is that we have this opportunity to be surrounded by so much diversity, and we have the opportunity to learn from each other. So I really want you all to try and take something out of today. I have a little cousin, or three of them, around your guys' age, and my little cousin walked up to me and she said, does someone know what ate means, if there's any Filipinos in here? Ate? So, yeah. Ate? What is it? Ate means older sister, or older, we say older sister, but we use it for older cousins too. So she walks up to me and she says, Ate, I have a question. I'm like, okay. And she goes, am I Asian? And I looked at her. I was like, yes. And she's like, my friends keep telling me I'm not Asian. I'm like, why? She's like, because I was born here. I was like, that's not how it works, right? And I told her, you aren't who you are, your identity, and you're not Asian because you were born here. But you're Asian because of your parents, your grandparents, the culture, the history, and all the lives that brought you here today, before you. Because her parents had immigrated here as well. So my uncle and my aunt, they had immigrated to Winnipeg, and I said, see, they're Filipino. You're Filipino. Just because you weren't born here doesn't mean you're not Filipino. It means you have two countries you can call home. You have the Philippines and you have Canada. And she's like, okay, that's cool. So I am Asian. I'm like, yeah, you're Asian, right? And she didn't know about it. And so those are different things that as growing up, I had questions about too. And people would tell me, you moved to Winnipeg when you were a baby. That doesn't make you an immigrant. But it's about my history and where I came from. And that's super important to remember, because you need to remember where you came from, who you are. And something wise that my mom did tell me and my dad did tell me was, never forget where you came from. No matter what happens in your life, you do need to remember where you came from. And so that brings me to, like I said, today, where I didn't know that I could do things like stand on a stage with the mayor of Toronto and receive an award alongside a Raptors president. So some challenges. Can someone guess how tall I am? Be nice. Someone I haven't picked yet. Yeah. 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 1 meter. I don't know meters. Sure? No? I don't know meters. Yeah, in the back. 4'5"? Huh, no. 2 more. Yes. That's generous. No. 1 more. Yes, right there. 5? Yes, 5. Just exactly 5. So a challenge. Do you think I've been 5 feet tall since I was in 6th grade. Literally since I was your guys' age. It's so sad, right? And I never grew. So people had a hard time believing what I could do, what I was passionate about, believing in my message. And so when I really got to these challenges in my life as a girl, as a young person, as an immigrant, as a person of color, it was really hard sometimes to convince people that I do know what I'm talking about and that I do care about it. And something that I learned was you just have to be resilient. Resilient means not stopping, right? And resilient means never giving up because you are passionate about it and you do care about it. So that's something that I learned, which helped me overcome these challenges. So another thing is no one ever told me that I could do all these things, that I could be a top 25 Canadian immigrant, that I could have my own nonprofit, that I could get an award by the time I was 14, or that I could make a change and be here talking to all of you today. No one ever told me. And as much as today is about learning about other histories and contributions of other people with Asian backgrounds and Asian descent, it's about inspiring all of you to understand and realize that you can do this too. You can do what I'm doing. I'm just like all of you. I like to play Fortnite. I like to watch movies. I like to do all these different things. I like to play sports. I like to watch the Raptors. I'm literally exactly like you guys, but like from the future. So like, I'm literally, if you've seen Endgame, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm literally you guys. And that's something that I always had a hard time understanding, is that we can all change the world. And no one ever told me growing up that you could change the world, Loizza, that you can do this. And I think it's really important for all of you to really understand that no matter whether it's skateboarding or dancing or figure skating or art or singing, you can use it to change the world. And if you want help, please come see me. I can give you ideas before we leave today. This is something that I've been doing ever since I was your age, ever since I was in the CSUT year in. And it's something that's really important to me for you guys to understand as young people. So that's just the bit of the end of me talking. Is there any questions? Yes. Oh, you're so cute. Thank you. Why don't I join? Because, I don't know. My mom wants me to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer. I don't know. See, but it's true. It's true. And honestly, they only say it because they want you to have a good future. But, you know, Thank you. Text my mom. That's awesome. I don't know if that was a question, but I really like you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Was that a question? I missed the end of it. Could you say that one more time? Why is everyone in here so smart? I love that. So if you didn't hear her, she said, if you change one person's world, then slowly over time, they'll change another person's world. You guys are so smart. I love it. But yes, I love that. Yep. Growing up, I liked track and I liked volleyball. But basketball is something that I was just sick at. I could shoot. So that's it. Yeah. Someone asked me this yesterday and I had to say Endgame. And I can't even tell you why because there's people in the room that haven't seen it. But it's Endgame. Is there a question on this side somewhere? Yeah, in the back. Yeah. Yeah, you, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess this is one of the challenges because I'm too short and the mic keeps turning off. Okay, cool. A challenge, oh, that's loud. Yeah, okay. A challenge I think would be, I think really trying to convince my parents that I like what I'm doing. It's something that, like she said earlier, it's not the path to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, but it's a path to do something that makes me feel really good and makes me happy. And it goes back to the whole thing I was saying about being resilient. It's just not stopping until you realize that you're doing what you love. Yeah, in the back. I did when I was like 4. Does that count? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of difficulties. I think something was, especially in sports, people never thought I could play basketball. 1, because I was 5 feet tall. 2, because I was a girl. And there's nothing that feels better than showing people that I can play ball and showing people that, you know, girls can play sports too. In terms of social activism, something that was difficult for me was being the only girl sometimes that would speak up. I think a lot of the times we get scared and we get intimidated, but what I loved about what I did was that I was always able to just speak up and not really care what anyone else thought about my ideas because I was super passionate about what I was doing. Yeah. They're gonna win. They have to win. They have to win. Yeah. Have I had any football? I can throw a football. I can tackle people, but for some reason I can't play football. I don't know the rules. Yeah, right behind you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Can I come back every day? Here's the thing. There's no really, you don't have to get anyone to tell you you're a leader. You just go out and be one, right? So a leader doesn't mean that, you know, like a teacher says, you're a leader. You go out and do what you love and people are going to follow you, right? And that's what makes you a leader. It's not about calling yourself a leader. It's about doing things that leaders do. Like making positive change, making the right decisions, inspiring other people, caring about other people. That's what makes someone a leader. All the way in the back, yes. Yes. When I came to Canada, 9 months old. Yeah. Okay. Who knows who Nav Bhatia is? Yeah, this whole room's, yeah. Him, I got the RBC Top 25 Canadian Immigrant Award with him. A lot of Filipino celebrities. Someone else that I met. I don't know, it's been a long life. I'm 19. I'm sorry, anyone that's over 19. Is there other people? I can't remember, but I don't know if this counts, but Steve Nash also got the same award that I got in Canon. I don't know. In the back again, yeah. Yeah. Yes, right now I just play basketball. I play for my campus. Yes, behind you, yep. If you want my PSN or anything, just DM me and I'll give it to you. I got like 20 people add me on PSN yesterday. Yes. You know, my favorite thing in the world is when people tell me I can't do something because I just prove them wrong. And it's awesome. It feels so good. And that goes back to the whole thing I said about being resilient, where just because someone tells you you can't do it doesn't mean you actually can't do it, right? And when it comes to bullying, it's important to find people that support you, people who support your message, teachers that support you. You have a whole school full of teachers that care about you. Yeah. Happy? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And a lot of the times when I get a seat at the table, I'm the only Filipino. I'm the only woman. I'm the only girl. I'm the only young person. It's something that really pushes me even more. A lot of people can get discouraged by it, but I want to also share that with all of you, is that if you're a minority in the room, in a place that you are, use that to push you to be a voice for everyone else that you're representing. Yeah. Let's do the math. 1999. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who raised these kids? They're so cool. It's hard to do online fundraisers, to be honest, because credit card information. I would say maybe start small until you get your name out there, until you get the organization's name out there. So even if it's just like a bake sale at your school or a community, or having like a little event where young people can come together and just donate. Someone who hasn't, yep, all the way in the back, in the red, yes. My goal of what I do? Is that what you said? Yeah? My goal is to have the world to be at a point where we don't need motivational speakers to tell you to be a leader, because we're all already leaders. That's my goal. I mean, I won't have a job after that, but I don't really care. I do this because I like you guys. Yeah. Did I can't, that last word? Oh, prove wrong. Huh. Too many to count? Somewhere over 100, but somewhere under 1 million. Does that answer your question? Sure, I don't have an answer. I don't keep track. Someone who hasn't, yes, in the pink, yeah. Yeah. Have I watched all the movies before Endgame? Honestly, no, and my brother got really mad at me. He was like, you don't deserve to watch it. You're not gonna appreciate it. You're wasting someone's seat. And I was like, okay. But I saw a few of them, but not all of them. How much time do we have left? Does the program say 10:05? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll take a few more. Right in the front, yeah. Yeah. What inspires me to do all this is actually you guys. I remember being in your seats and being scared to speak up and being scared to make a difference. But when I really understood the power of young people when they come together, that's what I forgot to tell you. I have a really bad memory, but what I wanted to share with you guys is that youth are mistaken for the leaders of tomorrow, but we're the leaders of today, right? So today, you can make a change. Today, you can get a seat at that table. Today, you can make a difference. Today, you can make a positive social change. Today, you can go out and start something that you care about. Today, you can be a leader, right? And that's something that we tend to forget sometimes, is leaders aren't the leaders of tomorrow, we're the leaders of today. Yes. It's hot in the Philippines. It's cold in Winnipeg. But it doesn't really matter because I like them both equally. I'm from both. Yeah, right in the front. I am the youngest child, so I had it easy. Yeah. How much money have I raised? Okay, what I can remember when I was in 6th grade or 5th grade, that was like 600 something. I just did a recent one for almost $7,000 for my little cousin. I had, I don't know, a few $1,000 ones, a few like $2,000 to $3,000 ones. For one of my events for Peace of Mind, we actually got an $11,000 grant from the government of Manitoba to run an event for 700 people across the province, so that was pretty cool. I'm gonna say well over 20, 30-ish thousand in like my life so far. All the way in the back, I can see your hand. Yeah. Current projects is Leaders of Today. So if you want to get involved, please follow me on Instagram, go to my website. There's more information about ways you can get involved with Leaders of Today. Send me a DM, say, hey, I was there today, can I get involved? Let me know. Yeah. September 17th, 1999. Giving out all this personal information. Do you want my SIN number too? Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A famous show. I was on NBA TV. I was on, I think the first time I was on CTV, I was 15. Metro Morning, I feel like you guys are too young, but Metro Morning with Matt Galloway, I've done a few times already. I've done TV Ontario, CBC, Global News. I was on a Filipino global show as well. It's no big deal. All the way in the back, yeah. I'm dying on the inside. Honestly, it's not really up to me. It's about you guys. When you guys laugh at my jokes when they're not funny, it makes me feel good. So like, it's something that takes a lot of practice to be confident. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of support to even get to that confidence. But yeah, I've just been doing this for the last like 10 years of my life. So it just happens. I have 3 minutes, so give me like 3 more quick questions. Make them quick. Yeah, in the back. Yeah. For my cousin, my little cousin was actually diagnosed with a type of cancer, so I had fundraised money for her to go to her dream trip in Japan. Yep, in the middle. Do you guys think I keep track of things? I don't know, like 5, 6, 7, 6 something around there. Yeah. Yeah. You know Winnipeg like that? Oh, you do? Are you from Winnipeg? No, you're not. No, you're not. Really? Oh, you went to Stanley Knowles. That's cool. I went to Vincent Massey. I lived in White Ridge. Personal information. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so in a game around 35, at U of T it's a long story. Kind of, yeah, 35-ish. Yeah. Yeah. Both of you, yeah. One of you, go first, yeah. This is just gonna be a lot of words. I'm doing an honors bachelor in psychology and health sciences with a major in mental health studies, a major in international development studies, and a minor in public policy. Yeah, and never mind, okay. Okay, I still have 2 minutes, cool. Right there, yeah. Darth Vader? Did Darth Vader die in Endgame? I don't know, but Harry Potter is pretty sick in the movie, don't you think? And when Indiana Jones comes back, it goes crazy. Okay, 2 more. I love that. Because me and my friends make those jokes. I like you. Yeah. My favorite subject has to be, I just took a whole class about behavior modification. It doesn't mean I got a good mark, but it means I liked it. Okay, well, I don't know how to pick. Yeah. Is Thanos purple in Endgame? I can't answer any questions about Thanos. That doesn't count. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Oh, Why is that so deep? What am I scared of? This has to be the last question. I think, why getting traded? No. That's so funny. That's like second on my list, I think. First on my list, I think, would be, I have really young cousins, so cousins your guys' age, and I think, like, I treat them as my siblings, so my biggest fear would probably be them not realizing the power that they have growing up. The power when we have technology at our fingertips, when we have young people that care about something as passionate as us. I think my greatest fear would be them not reaching their full potential, because I know how awesome it is to be a young person and growing up and getting to do this with your friends. That brings me to 10:05, which means I actually can't answer any more questions. But come find me, I'll answer a few more questions for you. You can DM me if you have a question, I'll answer. It could be about Endgame, about anything, just let me know. But I do want to say thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I'm so glad to be here today.
Isn't that amazing? Let's give her a big round of applause. Another one. Perfect. I was actually supposed to give some introduction about her nonprofit organizations, both of them, and about her awards, but I didn't, because I really wanted her to talk about, and when we hear from the person, it's totally different. And I just wanted to share one more thing, that the last year, there is a finalist when you get to the top 25 RBC awards. So the 75 people come into the finalist, and me and her, we were together, and she won the award, and I'm glad because she inspired all of